Here are the following legal basis for the repatriation of human remains: DILG and DOH Joint Memorandum on the Management of Human Remains for Patient Under Investigation or PUI, and confirmed COVID-19 cases. Ensure proper management of infectious human remains, to prevent the overpricing of funeral and cremation services and to avoid compromising the health and well-being of the responders, and the public, in general. DILG Memorandum Circular No. 2020-63, which imposes power to LGUs to issuances, or ordinances to put a price cap, or impose a price freeze of funeral services located within their jurisdiction. Bureau of Quarantine Memorandum Circular No. 2020-23 Interim Guidelines for the Admission of Human Remains into the Philippines during the time of COVID-19 pandemic.
On the outbreak of the COVID-19, lockdowns and other health protocols were strictly imposed, which hampered or limits the movements of individuals. Number of deceased OFWs increased especially in Saudi Arabia, and repatriation is not possible. Due to the accumulated deaths in the host country, and the Philippine government learned that the repatriation is sought for, the DOLE consulted with the DOH. On June 25, 2020, the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases approved the recommendation of DOLE and DFA to repatriate the bodies of the deceased COVID-19 infected OFWs, after the health officials declared that it was safe to bring home. Arrangement of the repatriation of human remains, including implementation of health protocols, were carefully crafted. The Saudi government imposed that the repatriation of 274 OFWs, including 129 bodies infected with the virus, not later than July 8. However, our government eyed for extension due to logistics constraints and completion of the documentary requirements. The remains were repatriated in batches. DILG Region 1 urgently convened the Management of the Dead and Missing Persons Region 1 Cluster last July 7 in preparation of the scheduled repatriation of the first batch of human remains from Saudi Arabia. It was noteworthy that the first ever mass repatriation initiated by the Philippine government was made. The first batch arrived last July 10 for a total of 49 human remains. The second batch arrived last July 19 for a total of 80 human remains. The third one on July 23 for a total of 55 human remains. The fourth batch last August 26 for a total of 72 human remains, and the last one was last September 29 for a total of 37 human remains. As of today, a total of 293 human remains were repatriated from Saudi Arabia under the mass repatriation. In Region 1 alone, a total of 48 human remains were assisted, of which 22 human remains under the mass repatriation and 26 under the regular repatriation.
In mass repatriation of human remains, there will be a one-stop shop consisting of BOQ, customs and other agencies tasked to process documents for fast facilitation. Crematorium or funeral vans or vehicles are lined up to bring the HRs to the crematorium site. Non-COVID HRs and those for burial will be brought to the funeral parlor arranged by the next of kins. Burial shall be done within 24 hours from the issuance of quarantine certificate. NO case of COVID HRs will be transported by OWA to the crematorium site, and at least 2 NOKs are allowed to join. For the regular repatriation of non-COVID related human remains, the funeral service provider or FSP arranged by NOK in coordination with LGU and OWA lines up to retrieve the HRs in the airport cargo section. Transfer of remains is permitted only from airport to final destination. No permit shall be granted for further transfer of remains from one place to another. Burial shall be done within 24 hours from the issuance of quarantine certificate. Manipulation of the human remains and public viewing is not allowed, and only adult members of the family of the deceased OFW shall be permitted to attend the funeral. For the regular repatriation of COVID-related human remains, airport assistance is extended to accommodate the HRs for COVID and COVID-related deaths in coordination with the OWA Repatriation and Assistance Division. OWA directly engaged with the crematorium facility, including transport, cremation, permit and documentation and urn provision. turnover of cremains may be facilitated directly to the family, if a family member is present in the crematorium. Unless, OR Region 1 transport and turn over the cremains to a family member at the designated drop-off points in Region 1. And, the disposition of the urn is the discretion of the bereaved family.